What is there to do in Boise? Well, some think there's nothing to do here, and others think that there's plenty to do, but let's just find out. The number one thing to do here is gonna be the outdoors. So we have the hiking in the foothills, which are only a 5-minute drive away or a 10-minute bike ride from downtown Boise. You have hundreds of options for different levels of difficulty when it comes to the trails, whether you're mountain biking or hiking. And of course, you can mountain bike most all of those hundreds of options. So if mountain biking is more your thing, it is available right in town, just outside of Boise. You also have the Eagle Bike Park in Eagle. It gives you an opportunity for some jumps and to just kind of hang out with a bunch of other mountain bikers. The other main attraction of Boise is the Boise River outside. You have the Greenbelt, which is actually where I propose to my soon-to-be wife here in a couple of weeks. As you're watching this, we may be married now, but you can float the Boise River in the summertime. You can fish it all year round. There is some good spots on the Boise River if you really put in the work. We even have steelhead that come through, and the Idaho Game and Fish, they do stock the Boise River with some steelhead. So you have a ton of options there, and the Greenbelt runs all the way through Boise, Eagle, it's in Star and Middleton, and it is really a popular thing to do for a lot of people, whether you just want to get out and cruise on your bicycle and walk along the river, or you want to go hang out in the summertime and cool off, maybe catch some crawdad. Just sit on the beach and swim and let your kids hang out in the river. That's a lot of the outdoor things to do, and we'll go over a few more later on, but the Boise River and those hiking and biking trails are definitely one of the top things to do here. Now, my name is Brady Fagel. I am a local. I've grown up here. I've lived here over 20 years, but I'm also a realtor, and I love helping people move to the Boise area. So if you're thinking about moving to Boise, or you're debating between Boise and Austin or Florida or Tennessee or somewhere else, still give me a call, shoot me a text, shoot me an email. I'd be happy to help you see which one is actually gonna fit you and your family's needs the best. And regardless of where you're moving, I'd love to help you out. But let's get back into the things to do in Boise. Next up is Topgolf, which is basically just a driving range where you hit golf balls, but it has interactive games in the technology of the golf ball and the course itself. You can also have a drink and eat food there and hang out with family. It's a really fun time. And this is gonna be located off of Eagle and Meridian, and it's a newer thing to the Boise area, so it hasn't been here that long, just over a year. And that's a really fun thing to have, especially for kids or work events or date night. Really a great option there in Meridian, and the best time to go is in the early mornings, especially on weekends, because you only pay like $60 to $70 for every 2 hours. But if you go in the afternoon, you're gonna be paying $100 to $200 an hour. So if you wanna save a little money at Topgolf, definitely try and go in the morning if you don't mind, if you have family and you wanna just get up at 9 a.m. and go to Topgolf. Boise also has Bogus Basin, which is about 45 minutes outside of town, where you have your skiing and your snowboarding in the wintertime, and then in the summertime you have a roller coaster up there. There's more mountain biking, hiking trails, and they have classes up there for yoga, so it offers things in both the summer and the winter. If you're a skier or a snowboarder, we also have Tamarack, which is up by Cascade and McCall, which has some awesome ski and snowboard slopes up there. And it's really just kind of a fun vacation to go up to Cascade and McCall in the winter, especially when they have their winter carnival and they have ice sculptures and some events. And then we also have Sun Valley, which is about a 2-hour drive, which is the same as Cascade, which also has more skiing opportunity. The other thing is at Bogus Basin, if you just want to go tubing, or you just want to go up there in the winter and have a drink and kind of hang out and let your kids hit the tubing hill, you want to go snowshoeing, you can do that as well. So another awesome opportunity if you like to get out and ski in the winter, and to get out of the house and not spend so much time in your home down in the valley, especially when we get those inversions that roll through where it can be dark and cloudy and gloomy for weeks at a time. You get up above the mountains, and then you don't have to worry so much about that inversion. Next up is the Village, with all of the shopping you would ever need. It has coffee, there's restaurants there like Kona Grill or Yard House, or a really good pizza place called Grimaldi's. You also have all of the shopping. You have Lululemon, there's a new Lego store that went in there, there's Loft, there's pretty much anything you could ever need. You can just hang out in the Village all day and go shopping, eat lunch. Across the street is Kleiner Park, which has pickleball courts, frisbee golf. There's also the fountains at the Village. And then in the wintertime, they have winter events, they have an ice rink, and in the summer, they're always putting on some sort of event, whether it's somebody coming in to show reptiles and animals, or it's a biking, or it's a play. They always kind of have something going on there. And then you also have the movie theater in the village as well. So another option where you can really do anything at the village. And then the newest thing that they got is In-N-Out, which the first few weeks it was 3-hour long waits. The opening day it was almost an 8 to 9 hour wait to get to In-N-Out. Now I just drove by there today. It's still almost like an hour and a half, 2-hour wait to get into In-N-Out, but that's definitely the newest thing to the village. And you have plenty to do around there in Meridian off of Eagle Road. Eagle Island State Park, which has horse trails, there's hiking trails, there's fishing opportunity if you want to fish at the lake or just go to the Boise River right next door. There's swimming in the summertime there. They have a section with a beach for your kids to swim or you to just hang out in the water. They also have a water slide, and then in the wintertime they have a big tubing hill, and that gives more opportunity to do some stuff at Eagle Island, and that's going to be in Eagle, Idaho. And if you want to check out Eagle, Idaho, it's really a popular suburb. I have a video that you can click here and check out the pros and cons of Eagle and learn everything there is about Eagle, Idaho. But Eagle Island, another top attraction and another thing to do when you live in the valley. Frisbee golf and pickleball, and also regular golf, but pickleball has really picked up a lot of popularity recently. We have pickleball facilities, there's courts and frisbee courses all over Boise. So pretty much all the major parks like Kleiner Park, and then the major parks like Julia Davis Park in Boise, you have frisbee golf courses, and then you also have pickleball courts. And that's really growing as of the last like 5 years. There's a lot of people love to do that. There's neighborhoods now that are building pickleball courts in their neighborhoods. Places like Loxa Falls, which is right next to Rocky Mountain High School in Meridian, that has a frisbee golf course. So those are two things definitely that you can do in the valley. And then of course there's regular golf. So Boise is known for having a ton of golf courses. It's a really popular place. The PGA Tour comes through here, and you have them scattered all over. You're gonna have a golf course everywhere. In every suburb, no matter where you live, you're gonna be pretty much right next door to a golf course. BSU offers everything a college would offer. It has the football games and the basketball games, and those are the obvious ones that any college is gonna have, and the community here is really good with the tailgating and stuff on the weekends in the fall. But BSU also has a lot of concerts and plays and events that it has all throughout the year. One popular thing is the symphony. If you like classical music, there's candlelight concerts for a pianist that plays there, and then they have a symphony almost every week. I think it's on Friday and Saturday. And then there's also just plays that go on at BSU. So having a college in Boise, it has some of its cons with some of the college kids and the things that college kids do, but it does have those events that it throws on, and so that's another thing to do in the Boise area for your weekend fun with the family. Breweries. Idaho loves their beer. They love their IPAs, and it's really something that most people here do, is especially in the summer, you want to grab a cold beer. There's breweries right downtown off of the Boise River. There's some in Garden City that are really popular, and then you kind of just have them scattered throughout, but especially right around downtown and in the city of Boise itself, there's a ton of breweries, and a lot of them have cool things where you can grab a beer or a cider, and then you can play cornhole, or you can play horseshoes, or you can just hang out and have your dogs just walk around and play with the other dogs in the yards that they have. But that's something that is a must in Idaho, and everyone loves to hang out at the breweries and then go mountain biking before or after on the weekends, especially in the summertime. Concerts, comedians, and speakers. We still have that. It's not going to be as much as maybe LA or Seattle or Denver, but we do have a ton of people that come here, and as Boise has grown, it's become more and more. This summer we had Luke Combs come into town, and he was at the BSU Stadium. So if you ever have anybody major coming to Boise, which happens probably once, twice, maybe 3 times a year, but for sure once a year, they're gonna be playing at the stadium downtown. They're gonna have 1 or 2 nights. And then we also have Taco Bell Arena, we have the Boise Center downtown, we have the Idaho Center, which is in Nampa, and there's constantly comedians and concerts and speakers and events going on. So you can pretty much find something every weekend. and eventually you're gonna find a few weekends a year that it's somebody that you like to listen to or somebody that you like to watch. So another great thing in Boise, the only con is just not quite as much as some of the other major metropolitan areas. The zoo and the aquarium. So the aquarium is right next to the mall, and in the wintertime, this is something that can just be fun to take the kids to, get out of the cold air, get out of the house and go see some fish and sharks and things that they have there inside. It's not a huge aquarium, but it is a fun thing to do. They have some interactive things where you can pet or feed stingray, and it's nice just to get the kids out of the house in the wintertime. We also have a zoo, which it's an okay zoo. It's not gonna be like an Omaha Zoo or the San Diego Zoo, but it's a nice thing, especially if you have young kids, if you're a stay-at-home mom, or if you just wanna take your kids to the zoo once or twice a summer. It's a nice option to have downtown Boise to kind of mix things up and entertain those kids. Jump Time and Defy. So these are places that have your trampoline courts. You can play dodgeball in the trampoline courts with the padded sides or the foam pits. But then places like Defy, you also have that pertain more to younger kids, where it's more of like a playhouse, like a playground indoors with some of those trampoline options and foam pits. And so those are scattered all over the valley, and it gives you another option, another thing to do. Roaring Springs and Wahoo's. Roaring Springs is the water park here, and it's a great option to have, especially for your kids in the summertime. You know, when I was a kid and I got a season pass, I loved going almost every day or a few times a week and just finding a different friend, and parents would kind of trade off taking all of the kids, or as you got older into middle school and in the early high school, you could just get dropped off there and it unload your kids for the day. And it has a lot of ton water slides. It just had a new renovation. And then Wahoo's is right next door, which is an arcade. There's some interactive games there, laser tag, you have a mini golf course, there is go-karts. So another option right next to Roaring Springs, and they own each other. So you can go bowling or go to the water park, and it just gives more and more options as you combine all of these things that Boise does have to offer. And then the vineyards. So vineyards are gonna be out towards Caldwell, past Lake Lowell. This is gonna be a little bit outside of town, and then there is some in Eagle as well. But this is a great thing for parents, is to go out on a weekend, have some wine tasting. They often have events where they'll have concerts along with a free box of wine if you purchase the tickets. So it really gives you a nice little outing that's a little bit more quiet. It's not a concert. You can just kind of see the landscape. It's really beautiful out there, especially out towards Caldwell. And if you're thinking of moving to Caldwell or the vineyard area, you want some more land on your homes, go ahead and check out this video here, and it'll tell you all that you need to know about Caldwell and the area out by the vineyards.